If you're a filmmaker, a creative, or a storyteller that works in television or film, or if you're just starting your career in the media industry, you don't want to miss our next guest. This could be the opportunity you've been searching for. Welcome to the Hollywood Makers. Hi everyone, welcome to the Hollywood Makers. I am your host, Claudia Cano-Asbjornsen. And for over 10 years, Danny De Lillo has served on the board of NewFilmmakers LA. He is the founder and CEO of Sweet Humans, a production company dedicated to nurturing diversity and creating safe spaces for creatives. He is passionate about supporting diversity and gender equality, and he uses his voice to speak at festivals, juries, committees, and all over the entertainment industry. And I am so happy to have him as our guest today. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you so much, Claudia. I'm like getting emotional because I love the platform that you are creating. Thank you to Hollywood Makers and all that you and your team do, because you're creating platforms to help us all work together and be part of this community. So thank you so very much for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So not only are you board member for over 10 years of the NewFilmmakers NLA, but also you have your own production company that has the most amazing name. I love kindness, and I love the way that you named your company. So tell us about your company and why did you decide to name it as is?
Oh, thank you so much, Claudia. And like you, I lead with kindness, and a lot of that comes down to being an experience, being in this industry, and where it's not always led that way, and I think it's so important for us to come together, and for the people that, like yourself and hopefully everyone that we surround ourselves by, to lead by example and lead with kindness and make everyone feel happy and safe and comfortable. So really, it comes from being an experience of working in this city, working on so many amazing projects, but also knowing how tough it can be, moving here, being from here and finding your way in the industry. And so my company was really inspired by the organization that we're about to talk about at NewFilmmakers LA. I wanted to create this beautiful experience for people on set and storytellers locally and globally, not only to have their voices heard, but to kind of lift them up. And I always use the example, the way that Rafiki did to Simba in The Lion King, lift them up, show them to the kingdom and celebrate them, but also just give them, a unique platform to move into the industry in an authentic, safe environment that also where they can trust the people that are leading their path. And not only that, I think it's really important for emerging filmmakers to be supported as they make those transitions, as they move higher up in the industry. So I named my company Sweet Humans because that's the kind of environment that I wanted to create. And really, it's a celebration of emerging talent mixed with experienced talent. And whatever theme or whatever the story is about, we want to make sure naturally that we represent the community and the story that are involved in that project. It's very important in this industry that we have people involved in projects that really can understand and empathize with the story that's being told. And that's something that I wanted to do from the ground up, to make sure that's something that we continue to do, not only in my company, but in other companies that we partner with as well.
And that is so important, because I think that one of the important things about the changes that have to happen in the industry as a whole is we need to have our place at the table, because no one can tell your story better than you can. And if we don't have representation, whether it's for gender equality, for diversity, for women's voices, for minorities' voices, those voices are not going to be heard, at least not in the right representation. And it's going to be wrong, and it's going to get the information not to the right people, right? Because if we don't have that seat at the table, it's so important to be heard. So I'm glad that you are part of that team that's trying to push through and break those barriers, one by one, I guess. And especially with NewFilmmakers LA. Tell me a little bit about the organization, because obviously I know about it. We are very fortunate that you guys exist. You have helped so many filmmakers, young independent filmmakers, throughout the years, but the organization has grown exponentially in the past few years, and you've done so many projects to help new and upcoming filmmakers and established filmmakers get to the next level. Tell us about that story, please, because I think that people are going to benefit tremendously from all this.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. No, truly, New Filmmakers Los Angeles is honestly one of the best communities that you can come across if you're not only a storyteller, but just if you love the film and TV world that is created in front of your eyes. This was created this year. It'll be 17 years that New Filmmakers created. It started in a small, tiny room, and it's grown now. It has this, 500-seater in downtown Los Angeles. We work with every major studio and media outlet, and it's really a platform on a monthly, consistent basis for emerging storytellers. There's been a lot of movements and things that has happened in 17 years. And what I love about New Filmmakers LA is they really were going for all the things that we're fighting for today 17 years ago, to really make sure we uplift and celebrate emerging storytellers from all perspectives, all cultures, all experiences, countries, communities, and really providing a safe space for those people as well to express their stories. And one of the things that I love is that our storytelling is not conservative. Like, we want to celebrate you. And if you have a story that you're passionate about, or something you've experienced, or you want to highlight something that means something to you, we want to see your film. And we know that sometimes, in our audience, they might be shocked, they might be educated, but these are people that want to be heard. And it's so important, if we have the Moving Image platform, that we represent the community and the world that we live in. And so we've been doing this for 17 years. And so one of the special things about New Filmmakers LA, it's a monthly community. And I know how difficult it can be for filmmakers out there, storytellers trying to find their feet, in the community. We want to create this on a monthly basis so you feel part of something. And, me, I can't take credit for all the staff does. I'm on the board. But, I also think boards are moving in a different direction too. And I don't want to be a stuffy board member behind the desk. I want to be out there on the front line, talking to filmmakers, making them feel welcome. And, for me, it doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a company or if you're a volunteer intern. Everyone should be respected, treated well, part of what makes things happen. And I know that from when I was an intern and a volunteer, we've got to make sure that we're better in how we associate with each other. So, we invite filmmakers for their first ever film to the most experienced filmmakers. But, so we have these monthly events that we do, and every single month are in focus events representing an underserved or underrepresented community. And we highlight to the top. So, for example, in January, we focus in on counter-ageism. It's an area of the industry which has been very unfair towards women in the industry, in front and behind camera. And there are lots of incredible women out there that don't get the jobs that they deserve. And so we have a program dedicated to that. We then go into Black cinema, which is a wide diaspora from here all the way to Africa. We just had that this past February. And we got filmmakers flying in from all over the world to celebrate not only Black History Month, but Black cinema in general and Black storytelling. We just had Women's Independence Month with all female directors. We have In Focus on our disability filmmakers about stories, but also helping people that have disabilities the opportunity to work behind camera. LGBTQ, we partnership with the Academy and have a big Latinx program. Middle East and Arab, we follow all over the world. One of our most important things is to remind our industry, especially here in Los Angeles, that we've got a lot to do to change this industry, who represents these stories. And we've been doing it for 17 years. And, I want to say we have In Focus programs, but we celebrate everybody, everywhere, all year round. And most importantly, we want to create a safe environment to express yourself and who you are.
That's just amazing. I got chills when you were talking. I was thinking, wow, what a wonderful platform to provide not only resources, but service and support, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes this business can feel very lonely, even though you're surrounded by so many people. Sometimes you feel lonely because you feel like you don't know where to go next. So for all our listeners and our viewers, this is a wonderful resource that we're bringing to you guys. Danny is part of this amazing entity that is every month, like you said, you are highlighting a different group and a different set of people that might not get their voices heard as loudly as they need to. So it's amazing that you guys do that. So obviously, the next question is, how do people get in touch with you guys? What's the process of a new filmmaker that would love to get in touch with you guys in regards to an idea or a project that's already filmed or something that's in the process of being filmed, how do they get in touch with you guys, and what is it that they would need in order to be part of this community?
Absolutely. Well, firstly, everyone is welcome. That is first and foremost. And this is that place where you can be free to be you, and we want to celebrate you. We want to welcome you to the New Filmmakers LA family. If you're a filmmaker, good news is our submissions for films never close, because we are 365 days a year and we're monthly, so it keeps going on. So you can definitely submit your film to us at New Filmmakers LA. In terms of attendance, become a member. It's very inexpensive. We have special student rates, special joint rates, and we want everyone to be part of the film community. And so, if you want to become a member and experience the films, also, you can do that as well. If you want to volunteer, if you want to be part of a committee, if you've got an idea, or you want to find connection within the industry in many different ways, we have fantastic programs. We just partnered with Stars on a program to celebrate writers. We've done fantastic programs in the past with NBC, Universal, and HBO. We want to encourage not only filmmakers to have their films celebrate with us, but we want to be part of our community for many years to come. Once you're part of New Filmmakers, you become part of an alumni if you're a filmmaker, and we will give you opportunities and offer different things throughout your career. And we're not only just here for your film, we want to celebrate you forevermore. So you can go to our website at nfmla.org, and feel free as well to reach out to me. My name's Danny De Lillo, and you can find me on Instagram. And we try to be as approachable as we can, because we know, as you said, sometimes, Claudia, you made a great example. When I first moved here 13 years ago, I didn't know what to do. I was naive. I was like trying to figure out my way, and I didn't know where to go. And so what was really fantastic was that New Filmmakers was that place for community. And it's not just filmmakers. Like, what's wonderful as well, I can't tell you how special it is for an audience member when you hear stories, when you're educated about certain things, or certain things that you're passionate about. I love seeing the audience interaction with filmmakers to hear about the stories that they heard. So not only do you get the chance to go to a film festival, you get to interact. Something that's really important as well at our festival is, I can't tell you how many stories people have met, like the lead for the next film, given someone a chance who was there trying to find their first job. They found their makeup artist, they found their set designer, they built community. Like, that's what it's all about, And also, most importantly, it can start at any age. We had a filmmaker just this past last year who made her first film at 90 years old, and then we had a filmmaker who was 15 years old making their first film. So, we want to celebrate. Isn't it great? It's so great.
That's amazing.
And, and I think as well, sometimes these places can be very intimidating. We try to make it feel as friendly as possible. You can reach out to us in many different ways, but certainly drop us an email, give us a call, drop us a message on social media. If you want to find out more, if you've got a question, do reach out to us because, we'll be happy to help.
That's awesome. This awesome all around. And I will definitely have your information come out on the video, but just in case people are just listening, your Instagram is again at Danny De Lillo. And you can find you there. And the De Lillo is spelled Delillo.
Yes,
right?
British Italian with a little American twang in my voice now, because I've been here 30 years.
It's a perfect combination, I think. So, Danny, you were talking about how the importance of the creators that have met through New Filmmakers LA. And interestingly enough, you are the true embodiment of that, because you started as a new filmmaker in there, and then you became part of the board. So you're really the story to be told. So tell us, how did that transition happen? Because also we want to talk about your production company, but how did that transition happen from you becoming like this young person coming and then part of the board of NFMLA?
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope that my story can also be your story one day too, for everyone that's listening. Because I never expected to be in this position or doing something as glamorous and wonderful as this is sometimes, because I have to pinch myself for being here. But I actually was living in England at a time, and I was in a 5-minute short film on a 40-hour film festival. And the director of that film was like, listen, I put you out for this film at New Filmmakers LA. This was back in 2011. So, I'm really old. It was a long time ago, So anyways, it was back in 2011. And I was the rep that went there. And it was the first time I was in LA, first time I'd ever experienced it. And I went there as an attendee and thought, oh my goodness me, this is insane. But I was, even back then, the organization was a lot younger then. Still, just the essence of community. I remember just seeing their face at New Filmmakers, and I thought, what a community. Oh my goodness, maybe I can move here. Maybe I can move to Hollywood. Maybe I can have my dreams. And I remember speaking to my mum, was like, Mum, I think I can really do this. And she saw me on the red carpet for the first time, and I was there, and I was like, wow. And so, in the end, it was New Filmmakers LA that really supported, me on my journey. It was really helpful in my visa to live and work here. And the irony is now I'm helping lots of people internationally help with getting their visas and their dreams to live and work in Los Angeles as a filmmaker. So you pass forward all the time, people. But the good news is that I moved here all those years ago as an actor, which was great. So I truly understand the trials and tribulations that come with being an actor. And then I was invited to actually host at New Filmmakers Los Angeles 10 years ago in April this month, which is crazy. So I've done over 5,000 interviews with New Filmmakers LA. And honestly, it was for that reason, in the course of all the things I've experienced, that it was the inspiration for the independent storytellers that inspired me to be a producer today. I took a different journey because I really believe that you're building family in cast and creators, but I've also seen how things have been run, and it's not always been run the best, and it's been run by the wrong people, and it's been led by ego and really not appreciating all the work that goes in on all the levels of filmmaking. And so I've never been on a board. I was like, what is a board? What does this board of directors do? I remember feeling really intimidated because I thought, oh my goodness, they've all done all these movies and I'm just little old me doing this. What is going on? And then, so I joined the board of directors. And if anyone doesn't know, I highly recommend, whether you're on committees, on boards, this is the orchestration, the leadership that keeps these beautiful organizations going along. And so whatever's important to you in your community, join a committee, join a board. Don't be afraid. Be the people that can pivot it forward for the next generation. And so I couldn't believe it. I was on the board. Then I got elected as the chair of the organization, and I was like, can I do this? This is crazy. When you're on a board, you're hopefully being the therapeutic aspect to the organization, the staff, and keeping the leadership forward. And it's very, very important as well to make sure you've got a wonderful group of people on there that can truly represent all parts of our community, from perspective, culture, gender, sexuality. It's extremely important. And so you want to create that on any board that you're part of. But I'm really excited about taking it to the next level. And honestly, any good person that's in leadership of a nonprofit, you are in service to that nonprofit, and my goal is to pass my time to leave this in a better place than I left it, and then amazing people to continue that journey on forward. And so I got, during the pandemic particularly, New Filmmakers LA had 24 monthly events. We still continue throughout the pandemic because we wanted to make sure that the creators didn't lose faith in their hopes and their dreams, and we had community that was still building even though we're virtually. But actually what they got to do was bring the whole world in. So we had this world forum of virtual festivals and film festival. So we brought the whole world a lot closer together. So very much built into New Filmmakers LA. A lot of our films are international, different languages. Naturally, over half of our filmmakers are female and members of the POC. And so, this is something that is natural and general on merit. But it's also an important part of our mission statement to make sure that all voices get heard naturally, and that we can generate opportunities, they can get jobs and things. But during the pandemic, we had a lot of conversations, and I was never supposed to be a producer or anything like that. But I had filmmakers that, I'd met, and they were like, Danny, would you be interested in looking at my film? Would you be interested in, in producing and everything else? And honestly, I look at producing like I'm inviting someone over to my house, and I want to make them feel welcome and warm and trusted, and I want to build family and community. And because I've seen so many experiences where people have suffered in our industry through so many different areas, I come in with a mission to protect, but I also come in with a mission to know that you're going to be part of a production that you're proud of, B, you're safe, C, we're in it together, and that we can appreciate everyone's hierarchy and jobs that we do, but we're all as equal as each other. And I just want to make sure that that's something that we can continue on in the future.
You know, it's so interesting because you dove into like this really amazing advice about being part of community and joining groups, and I think that's a great advice, which was going to lead me to the next question, because after all these years that you've been doing this, you can tell what the pitfalls are that people that are new to the business are not aware of because they're naive, they have no knowledge. So first, what would be the best advice you would give new filmmakers that are trying to break into the industry? The best advice that you received that you think that they would benefit from? And what is the one pitfall that you kind of want to warn them to steer clear of?
100%. Really, both really good questions. Well, I just want to add something you mentioned earlier, Chloe. It's important to both of us is lead with kindness. That's the first thing. Lead with kindness. You know, it doesn't mean you got to be 100% every day, but, you know, we want to be around you. And so, you know, lead with kindness in everything and appreciate what people do for you and what you do for them. But I'd say the first and most important thing is know your voice matters. I truly have seen so many stories over the years, and people sometimes are afraid of putting their dreams out there. They're worried if it's going to be good, if it's going to be well received. If you are putting out something authentically yourself, you can do it. I truly believe Hollywood has a lot of things that go on inside it, but I truly believe if you're determined enough, you're focused on what your mission, what you want, there is a place for you in this industry. Don't give up. You know, it's a journey. And also don't put so much pressure on yourself. You know, like, you have to have a good equal balance of enjoying your life and being an artist and a creative. Good balance, you know, and a good core of people. That's the first thing I would say before you even set out to do anything. And, you know, with that being said, you know, go and find the things that are important to you. Many people that write stories, especially in independent cinema, write something they're passionate about, things they've been through. You know, artists are amazing human beings. A lot of artists actually fall into the arts because it's a safe space and they're able to exercise through creative arts, even for therapy, you know, for their kind of therapeutic needs. That's the beauty of the art form. And I can tell you, so focusing on you, don't worry about what is so-called competition and this and that. Focusing on who you are, because there is a place for you here, and give yourself the gratitude and the time and the patience and perseverance to find it. In terms of pitfalls, I would certainly say have a strong core of people around you. The one thing that I love to give the most to someone is trust. You know, you go through a lot of things in this industry. It can be really hard when you're new to this industry, but make sure you've got a good, close connection group of people around you. The ones you can trust, rely on. Being an artist is a journey. It never stops. So you want to create, you know, a good core of that. And, you know, one thing I would say is that, you know, there's no necessarily always a right or wrong way to do things. You know, yes, you kind of know when you may be doing the wrong thing, but I'm saying, like, trust your gut, trust your heart. If you know you're uncomfortable with something, make sure you let people know. If you've got a question, ask that question. I remember spending so many years where I was too afraid to look like I was an imposter to this industry, and I wouldn't ask those questions. Ask those questions, you know? And, you know, honestly, be part of a community. And that's why I love NewFilmmakers LA, because even on my hardest day, I'm surrounded by these group of artists, and it lifts my spirits. And it reminds me why I want to be a creative artist. But, you know, the last thing I'd share with putting both those questions together is all the ingredients are inside of you. They're already there. So just enjoy that experience of trying to find them, and trust your gut and your heart, for sure.
Great advice, for sure. Great advice. I will tell you that in school, when you kind of hang out with the nerds, you kind of have to lift up your expectation because you're hanging out with the people that are pushing the boundaries, right? Mm-hmm. So by default, you are pushing yourself because that's a group of people you're surrounding yourself with. I learned that when I was in high school. A teacher told me, whoever you surround yourself with is what you are going to become, because the energy comes from them, and then you give out that same energy. So
Absolutely.
The same thing that you were saying applies, especially with creatives. I think that as creatives, we crave that energy from other creatives. And it's not, fortunately, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of creatives, and there's no competition. It's more about feeding off of each other and getting the juices flowing, right? Like you get this idea, oh, but have you thought about this? And have you, given it this thought? And would you twist it around and do this? And then it becomes like this collaborative thing. So I think that advice is truly, truly true, because you will feel better once you have a group of people around you that support you and also that share your vision. You feel empowered, and you also feel like, oh my gosh, I can do so much more because I have people that support me.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Absolutely. So connected on what you just said, Claudia. It's what it's all about, and you're enough. You are enough. Don't feel like you've got to be reeling off this resume, with all these different credits. When I'm producing and I'm building, now I'm in a position where I'm building teams and communities. You can have talent, but your character is actually really what excites me the most. It's about building these different characters together and, being a nice person. And what you can lead with kindness. We've had so many movements over the 17 years that New Filmmakers has been existing. And we've got a lot of work to do in life, in society. And the wonderful thing about filmmaking and being part of, Hollywood makers is that actually you're part of that change through this field of entertainment. There's so many films we've had in our film festival, Claudia, where they have changed lives. They've sincerely changed lives. And we've had everything from the first time filmmaker, this past Academy Awards, we were celebrating our alumni that won awards. And we remember when they first started. And so we've seen that journey of them winning. And so, and that's all come down to perseverance, of trusting themselves that they are good enough to be part of this industry, for sure.
That's amazing. And I love also the fact that through New Filmmakers LA, you guys are also giving voices to people that might not have been heard otherwise, and the diversity that you have in the group, it's amazing. So tell me, what are you guys doing in terms of the next stage? What is, besides the monthly things for people to know that they can attend, what else can they expect from what's coming up new with New Filmmakers LA?
Absolutely. Well, yes, we have our monthly events, and we also have a lot of key events throughout the year and networking opportunities, things from award shows that we've got coming up. We've even got a party in partnership in Las Vegas. We are going global at New Filmmakers. And we're also partnered with many countries and communities in and around the world, where we are celebrating opportunities to go and film in other countries, or be part of other communities, or join one of our fantastic showcases where we have intensive opportunities for writers and directors and filmmakers. We do, that's something that's ongoing, so please follow our socials and our website to sort of see all the things we have going on throughout the year. And even from a high school level, one of our initiatives as well is that we work with local high schools where they actually get to experience behind camera. So 14, 15, 16-year-olds in the local community. And, sometimes even here in Los Angeles, they don't realize the access they've got, or they don't feel they have the access. We try to provide the access to that community. So again, don't hesitate to reach out to us if there's questions that you have, or communities that you have no idea how to be part of. We've probably got a connection somewhere where we can invite you to something. And so, I know you go past these studios and they all got these big closed doors. We want to open those doors for you. That's what we're trying to do here as well. So definitely with New Filmmakers moving forward, we've got our monthly events. We've got a lot of initiatives for filmmakers as well. It doesn't matter if you are a person that just loves film, wants part of a community in your local area. Great, join us. We have panels every single month with different industry professionals to get insight about certain things, from agents to distribution of films, to writing a project, to creating your own show. All these different things that we have throughout the month where you can be part of it. And the good news with that, if you can't join us in person, these are virtual. So we have people from all over the world that join these experiences with us as well. Again, it's really about creating community, and we want you to be part of that, whether you're local, international, in the United States, wherever. We want to have a space for you as well to enjoy what we can offer at New Filmmakers LA.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm so excited because I think this is one of those resources that I know will be so useful and so amazing for all our listeners to be able to have something tangible that they can go to and grab onto. And even if you guys only answer a couple of questions for them, it's just that in itself is such a reward for the listeners and the viewers. So thank you so much, Danny.
Thank you.
Question for you in terms of personal. Obviously, you are stretched thin doing the speaking conventions and the WonderCons and revising movies and producing and being a board member. So, and then also your personal life. So I always ask people, because it's very important, right? We're living in a very stressful time where people are so overtaken by everything that's happening outside that they forget the inside. So how are you managing the stress levels? What do you do to stay leveled with everything that goes on in your life?
Wow, that is a great question, Claudia. And I think it's a very, very important one for anyone that is a Hollywood maker. And as I kind of alluded to before, keeping a good sense of balance in your life, from being a creative person to managing, your own life. One of the things we've all learned over these experiences and through our own experiences in our lives is that people have got a lot of things going on. And everyone's got experiences that are really tough to go through. And that's why I say lead with kindness, because you've got to be gentle on each other. And that's not just for me to give out, that's also kind of what I hope to receive as well, because you never quite know what someone is going through. And so we've got a duty in our community to make sure, we're aware of that, and we have patience for that. So when I'm not doing all these different things, honestly, I'm at home cuddling my cats, really. Honestly, like that, it's really what I'm doing. In my comfy clothes, but no, I'm very lucky to have some very close people in my life that keep me balanced. In all honesty, but life is full of highs and lows and different things. But the wonderful thing, the kind of look at it the same way as when you're an artist, you're growing. Don't forget, you're also growing as a human being too, and you're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be angry at society and things that are going on, and and you're allowed to sometimes just not be able to cope. And, I always say communication is the key. So, please do reach out to people when, you've got things going on. But, find out what your interests are. This is LA. LA, for example, is an incredible city. And, it has so many things to offer. I think sometimes it's almost too much for some of us to take in because there is so much available to you. But, always try new things. Go and do different meetups. Try new experiences. Always make sure, as well as your creativity is evolving, you're evolving too. And I say that because that really helps with your mental health. It helps your mental health to kind of really understand, what things are important to you, what means something to you, and rest and sleep and be inspired and connect with people. So, I'd say I'm always going to be work in progress with life and mental health, but one of the things that empower me, honestly, is being around people like your community, and they remind me of why I do what I do, why I moved halfway across the world to be here, why I've developed the way that I developed. We need each other as human beings to inspire each other, and we need each other to get through life. But without being, I don't ever hesitate to reach out to someone if you're struggling or going through something. And I say that from my own experience too. We're only human at the end of the day, and we can only take so much. And there's always someone there to listen to you. Just make sure that you outreach them in the highs and the lows.
That's very, again, great advice. I love it. I think that because we live in a collaborative environment, also in regards to the media industry, you cannot make a movie or a TV series by yourself, right? No. You need a group of people. You need people around you. So just being able to reach out to those people for the sake of just breathing or letting go of ideas or just venting sometimes is so important, because we just want to get rid of all those negative feelings. So that's great advice. Tell me now, because I've taken so much of your time and I want to keep talking to you.
No, I love it. I'm enjoying this, Claudia. I wish we could have hours. I mean, it's amazing.
Know. We need to go have coffee afterwards. So tell me about what the next stage is for Sweet Humans. We've been talking about NewFilmmakers LA, obviously, because it's such, like I said, I love it. I love everything you guys stand for and do. But in your own company, what is the next phase that you're working on right now, just to give us a little taste?
Sweet Humans will officially be launching in 2024. I wanted to pave way to make sure that our writers and our actors got their fairness in their contracts. So, and it's nice to start Sweet Humans in this new year, because we want to get it right from the beginning to make sure that everyone feels empowered in what they do. So Sweet Humans is going to officially release with a slate of projects, which I'm really, really excited about, because they're all independent filmmakers. They're all getting their Simba to the kingdom moments, and I'm so excited to share the journey with everyone. And Sweet Humans really is, it develops projects, it highlights and celebrates emerging talent and storytellers. When we've got everything from a children's animation to an LGBTQ plus youth documentary series to a, if you like horror, we've got some horrors coming up, and we're developing a coming of age film. And so there's really no limits to human beings in terms of projects. One of the other parts and segments I have to Sweet Humans is that I want to be able to support other people on their journeys to enhance to where they want to go. So Sweet Humans also has a film family where I want to be able to support people to enhance their dreams. And so also working from big companies through the moving image to individuals, we want to create this openness of a platform to help you on your way. So really, I feel like, I will never stop being a mentor or a mentee to people. And so Sweet Humans really wants to have these open doors to creative filmmakers as well. But in terms of the storytelling, it's definitely stories that I feel that we can enhance our way of thinking and living in every genre. Every single one of my projects, not only, for example, with our LGBTQ plus youth documentary series, if it wasn't for NewFilmmakers, I wouldn't have the comfort of being openly gay. It was NewFilmmakers that really gave me that platform, and it was the storytellers that inspired me. And, I know that that's an area that I want to be able to protect the next generation in their authentic selves. And as we know, there's a lot of things going on in many different communities as well. So all the projects really are touching base on creating family environments, leading by example, being a supportive, caring, and safe atmosphere, nurturing filmmakers and companies to the next levels to make sure we're all on track moving forward in this industry, and just actually being part of something that hopefully you're all proud of as well. And so it doesn't matter whatever level or experience you have, we want to celebrate everyone. So, we want experienced people working behind the camera mixed with emerging filmmakers and people, so we can all move up together as well. And I just want to say finally, it sounds all very glamorous when it sounds so positive and enlightening. This came from a lot of pain, experiences that I went through personally, and have seen many other people in many other communities go through. And I want to do my tiny little bit in the world to make sure we diminish that and we move in a better direction forward. So Sweet Humans, hopefully, in the name, gives an idea of the kind of people I want to attract and the current environment that I hope you enjoy being part of, both whether you're watching a project or part of the project.
I'm so happy that you're doing this, because we need more people like you in the industry, more people that are leading with kindness, because it can be a very stressful environment. Working in film and TV is very stressful because it's very long hours.
Yes, it is.
it's very demanding of your time and energy, and there's times when people have no work, and those are the gig people, and they don't know where the money's going to come out next, and they're depending on new jobs. And so having people that lead with kindness makes such a difference, because then you feel more protected, I guess, and less alone. So thank you for that. I have so many other questions. We're now pick out a second part to this, but is there something that you want to tell the audience that we haven't discussed yet, that I didn't ask you, something important that you want to leave them with before we say goodbye?
Well, firstly, thank you again to you and your team for creating this platform, and it's so lovely to collaborate, through NewFilmmakers LA and introduce Sweet Humans, because we're all now connected together, and so that's really very, very exciting. I hope that you'll gain inspiration from this conversation that Claudia and I shared, but I hope when you leave this that you just remind yourself that your dreams are possible. At any age, at any circumstance, no matter what you've been through, no matter where you've been, no matter what traumas you've experienced, no matter what excitement that you're looking forward to but don't know how to start it, you can. You really can. And I never thought I would be able to say that myself, and I want you to be able to say it yourself as well. But I think certainly if you are a filmmaker and you want to make projects, just make sure you incorporate naturally the world that we live in. Representation and seeing yourself on camera, having stories that we can relate to and talk about is vital to our community. We have the most powerful platform in the world of the moving image. It deserves to represent the world we live in. And on top of that, we are responsible as filmmakers to make sure that we orchestrate that in our creativeness. So even if you don't know about a certain community, or you're curious, or you want to learn more, educate yourself too. That's also something that's really super important, because people really appreciate it when you take the time to learn about them, and that can stand for you or for something that you're working on. Now, go and move that a little step closer to your dream. And I say the best way to do it is do something a little consistent each day. Hasn't got to do a lot, just be consistent with yourself, and make sure that you've always got a little pathway to reaching the light to where you want to go in your career.
So good. So good. I mean, we should be talking for a few more hours. I think it's amazing.
We will.
How I am also getting information from you, because we learn as we go, right? Like,
yes, exactly.
Don't know everything. So it's always good to surround yourself with people of your like-mindedness, so that you can learn from them and grow yourself and help others grow. And I love that you want to continue to be a mentor, not only through Filmmakers LA, but through Sweet Humans. I think that because you are doing this with all the kindness, all the karma is going to come back to you to help you be successful, for sure, Danny.
Thank you.
I am so happy and so honored to have had you here. I know that the viewers and the listeners are going to be so excited to be able to get to communicate with you guys, because I believe that this is one of those resources that can definitely fulfill voids that people have when they try to enter the film or TV industry, because they don't know where to start, or because they have been mistreated or lied to, unfortunately, with other people. So it's always good to have a collaborative team like yours that is looking out for the best in all of us, right?
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Thank you, Danny, so much. I am so happy that you took the time. I know we're playing a little bit of tag with our time frames, so I'm so glad that you were able to give me all this time today. We definitely want you back for more information, because I'm pretty sure now people are going to want to ask questions. So if you have any questions, please submit them.
Please.
And we will definitely have Danny back to answer as much as possible when he's available.
I can't wait. Thank you to all of your community. I'm so glad you're part of Hollywood Makers, because you know what, without platforms like this, we wouldn't be able to progress the way that we do. And so, thank you so much to you, Claudia. It's a blessing to be with you, honestly. Like, you're doing the work and you're leading by example. So very honored to know you.
Thank you. Same here, Danny. And for all of you out there, remember to like, subscribe, and send us your questions, and become part of our community of the Hollywood Makers, and also the community of New Filmmakers LA, obviously. Until next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.